So I want to just introduce Marylouise Kelley to you. Many of you know her. You may have met her prior to the March when we went virtual. She has taught an intro class, so you may have met her there. She's also co-leading at a racial affinity group, and she has done some of the leads on those weekly noontime meditation practices. What you might not know about Marylouise is that she's a grandmother. She has 2 dogs. She likes to kayak, and she's learning to play the mandolin. So we are happy to have her. Oh, and she is an aspiring teacher. Goodness, that's one of the most important things. She's an aspiring teacher for IMCC, one of a group of people who are studying with Jean and are learning to teach. So we welcome her as our guide for the practice tonight.
Thank you, Teresa. And thank you to Teresa, who's also my mentor as an aspiring teacher, as well as Jean. I've really been gifted by so much support from IMCC since I landed here a couple of years ago. So I'm very grateful and happy to have this be my home, this community. So tonight, it's hard to get away from the fact that we're all reeling with a lot in this world right now. Between having to hunker down for even longer to protect our health and others' health, watching and acknowledging the pain of racism that's bubbling around in the streets and protests and in violence against people of color, and some of the other struggles we're dealing with, financial issues and political upheaval. It's a rough time. Some call it transformative. A time, there's a word, a bardo. A bardo is a time when it's a state in which we've lost our old reality and we don't yet know what our new reality might be. And in that state, there's really this sense of uncertainty and groundlessness. And when that happens, one of the best things we can do for ourselves in terms of our practice is just spending some time in simple presence, in the here and the now, grounding ourselves in our bodies and in the present moment. And taking refuge in the here and now can be our challenge, but it also can be that refuge, our place to be, as we take a moment not to worry about the past, not to worry about the future, but to just be present in the here and now. So tonight we're going to spend a little time just trying to acknowledge, be aware of our experiences, our sensations in the here and now, both personally and globally. So we'll spend some time in silent meditation, and then we'll finish with particular attention to some metta for the racial suffering in our world, with using some phrases written by Ruth King. So let's sit. As you settle into a comfortable seat on your cushion or your chair, really welcome you to move a little bit, stretch a little bit, if that will help you relax. We tend to all be a little bit tense, and if it helps to roll the shoulders or dip the head to just stretch out that neck, perhaps notice if you're making your spine stiff, allow it to be a little flexible so you can truly get comfortable, truly relax. And then let's begin with 3 very deep breaths. On the inhale, noticing your breath all the way in. And on the exhale, watching the breath all the way out. Matching the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Breathing in deeply. And with the exhale, letting go. And now just touching into the sense of our bodies, beginning with our feet. And just wiggling the toes, perhaps getting a sense of your feet on the floor on the ground. Relaxing your feet just into the floor, the lower legs, settling into the floor. Noticing as you move up your legs, you might have a little tensing or gripping in the thighs or the hips. See if you can notice how that feels. And just let it be known, and then relaxed. Moving into the lower torso and noticing if there's any gentle movement with the breath. To the upper torso, again, perhaps feeling the breath, a little flow. And up to the shoulders, trying to get a sense of the shoulders, just allowing the shoulders to hang. The arms hanging from the shoulders, the arms resting wherever they fall. No holding, no special posture of the hands. Just letting them be known and relaxed. And coming back up to the throat and the neck. Noticing if there's any tension held in the back of the neck. Allowing it to feel it and just let it be known. And if you can, relax with a breath, allowing the shoulder blades to just fall down the back. Moving up to the jaw. Allowing the jaw to open, the tongue just settle in the bottom of the mouth. Fully relaxed. And then noticing if there's any remaining tensing in the eyes, muscles around the eyes, the eye sockets. And if so, just breathing into that, letting the face soften. And then just allowing ourselves to settle in into this safe and comfortable space to take refuge just for a few moments in our practice with nowhere to go and nothing to do. And sometimes it helps when we want to pay attention to just clear the space by noticing, what am I aware of? In this moment, what am I aware of? It might be the air on your arms, bird song, a pain in your hip, a worry from earlier today. Whatever's there, this is what's here right now, and this is our practice. Seeing if we can treat each sensation, each thought, with a welcoming and allowing attitude. Meeting it with kindness, without any judgment, and just allowing it to be there. And as it's ready, allowing it to pass away. When I think of creating a safe refuge for practice, I like to think of an image of a large tree in the forest with a big old canopy of protection that allows us to be out in the sun and the air, watching the weather systems, but protected. Allowing us to just take the seat of the observer, watching the weather systems as they come and as they pass. Perhaps you're back against the bark of this large protective tree, and just noticing what we're aware of. And welcoming and allowing whatever comes. This too. And if you find yourself lost in thought, it may help stabilize your practice to pay attention to the breath, wherever it's most predominant, perhaps allowing the breath to just be in the background as you pay attention to what's present in the here and now. Or you may return and just gently asking yourself, noticing, what am I aware of? And naming, noticing the sensations, the thoughts, and the feelings, and meeting them with an allowing presence, with kindness. All are welcome. You may want to pay particular attention and notice the space between the thoughts, the space between the sensations, and enjoy that stillness. Now expanding the horizon of our awareness to include the circle of those we love, the broader community, in fact, all beings everywhere. May want to, in the symbol of just opening our hearts, move our shoulders and head back just a speck and getting into a receptive mode where we can take in all of those whom we're concerned about. Opening ourselves to those who are in turmoil, suffering, and also opening to the compassion and care that we feel in response, that we worry about. Opening to our concern and our new understanding about how others have suffered. Just allowing all of that to be known and holding that in care. Feeling whatever is present as you allow that suffering to be known. And opening our hearts to compassion and caring in response. You may want to repeat the following phrases silently, offering your sincere wish for the relief of the world's suffering. I care about the suffering in this world. May all living beings be soothed and healed. I'm sorry you've been harmed, exploited, ignored, and hated. I care about your suffering. May all beings be safe from inner and outer danger. I may not know how to show that I care, but may I do what I can to make a difference. May all sadness, pain, and sorrow be eased. As best I can, I hold all beings, without exception, in compassion. May all beings be free from fear. May all beings feel my care and meet racial difficulties with courage and kindness. May all beings be free from pain and sorrow. May all beings be free from racial suffering. May suffering be a great teacher. May all beings be soothed and healed. Remembering as we see it here, we can hold all of this in kindness and compassion. Breathing in for all of us, breathing out for all of us. Breathing in the wish to take away this pain and suffering. And breathing out, feeling the qualities of compassion pour through you and out into the world for the benefit of all beings. And take some time to feel the goodness of your intention to relieve suffering.